So we're here in the veterinary building now, which is on the perimeter of the system garden. It sort of sits between Professor's Walk and Royal Parade. And this is a relatively new component of the system garden. And most of the things I think that you see here are mostly succulents. But Tim will talk to you about all that stuff.
Yeah, so we call this the system garden terrace. Like the system garden, it is a place for teaching, research and learning. But this is an interesting rooftop garden that was developed, the planting palette in particular was developed with Burnley School of Agricultural Sciences to explore different succulents, plants that show different forms of succulents, and so to do that in an interesting way, it's been divided into 3 bioregions actually. So this area here is the Americas. So we see succulents in the form of frangipanis, also bromeliads, which hold water as well, and our typical cacti here. We also have the Africa, so including Madagascar, where you get a lot more, you'll see aloes and euphorbias, and then we have Australasia down here, so doesn't have a lot of succulent plants, but you will see a native food plant here, which is commonly known as pig face, or scientifically known as Carpobrotus. And then we have Plectranthus over here. We have some orchids, and we have Hoyas, and then we also have in Australia, because of the climate, a lot of underground tuberous succulents as well.
Did you want to talk about some of the science investigation that's happening here, Tim?
Yes. So in conjunction with the Burnley rooftop garden work, here there is an experiment to see how native insects are attracted to rooftop gardens, and if they find their way to rooftop gardens. And what's very, very interesting about this is that you will see here that this flower is covered with a pigment or a dye. Now that is so if the insect comes to pollinate these flowers and then goes down into the garden and pollinates, they'll be able to tell and see the movement of the insects. So there's some native plants up here and a few exotic ones as well. So that's an interesting experiment that's being done with with native insects, which is it's just another component of this rooftop garden design. We have lots of different forms of succulents here. So that one is your more brainy looking mammillaria. We have your more common spiny agaves here, which this is agave tequiliana, where tequila comes from. And then you will also have other different featured plants like this Syningia, which has this big, large caudex at the base. Now this is a plant that normally grows on the edges of waterfalls in places like Brazil.